morning. Good morning. I think I just did the Trump dance, the Trump inauguration dance. I don't know if anybody saw him and Elon Musk dancing together, but I mean, I don't dance at parties either, so I don't have room to talk, but anyway. All right, so today is, get out of here. All right, today is January 29th, 2025, and I'm going to do a reading. This is my little R here for my graffiti name. Okay, so what is today's reading about? What's the read? Man, I can never not drop the cards. All right, let's try to do this without dropping the cards. Okay, what's today's reading about? What is the viewer? Who is this reading for? Who is this reading for? Did you just win something? So somebody to whom recognition and praise is important. We don't know the full context of that yet. Okay. So who is this reading for this morning? Ooh. Are you maybe living for other people's validation and approval? Are you unable to make a move unless somebody tells you that your move is good and you're great? This might be your reading. Okay. So this is for the person who might be addicted to praise, might chase that positive feedback. I want to get one more at least one more piece of identifying information. Okay. So you have it all wrong. You have it all wrong. Your approach is completely wrong for you. You don't need this because you are this. So this is a high priestess. The high priestess is very, she's quiet, she's intuitive. She doesn't tell you everything because she knows you have to learn things yourself. She's wise and knowing, and she kind of just sits there and she, waits to be, approached or sought out for advice. A lot of tarot readers like to talk about like the new age concept of like feminine and masculine, and the high priestess is, an exalted feminine identity. I don't know why I went down that road. I know, because a lot of other readers will say, in your feminine power, you attract, you don't chase. Maybe, but either way, this right here is desperation, and this right here is quiet confidence. And this is who you really are, so I don't know why you're messing with this. All right, let's find out. Why are you messing with that? Why do you feel like you need other people to tell you you're good enough? I mean, relatable, I think we can all relate to that. But why is, like, for you, it's like a problem. For you, it's like an addiction. All right, why do you think other people need to tell you you're good enough? Because you felt alone your whole life? You felt alone your whole life? And so to being alone, why do you need praise from others? Yeah, you felt alone your whole life and you just, oh my God, I'm gonna cry. You just wanted to be loved, you know? And I guess you maybe gave up on that possibility, so you thought that you just get this praise. Okay. All right, so you're not seeing who you really are. You felt lonely and unloved. Okay. Let's get a little more. So why did the viewer feel lonely and unloved? It's too many. Why did the viewer feel lonely and unloved? I think people have been slow to respond to you, or at least the people that you find to be the most important. So maybe when you were growing up, your caretakers were slow to respond to you in some way. Maybe the people that you fall in love with are slow to respond to you. Okay. So you take love where you can get it. And like sometimes it's like this, like you pursue it, like you go out of you kind of get out of control. You can get out of control. Okay, so this is a problem. What can the viewer do to sort of rein in this addiction to approval from others? Well, you got to take it very seriously, and you have to use logic. And you have to move now. It's too many. And you have to cut your losses, accept them, and move on. All right. So how can the viewer, like, it's not, easier said than done. So what's going to help you do that? Okay. So fight for your happiness. Fight for your happiness. And that doesn't mean that you go get out of control chasing this fake happiness. No. Don't get out of control chasing fake happiness from people that you don't care about, that don't matter to you. No. Chase your real happiness. Fight for your real happiness. Okay, what is that? How do you figure that out? All right. How do you figure out what really makes you happy? What really makes my viewer happy? How do they figure it out? You're waiting. You've been wondering this for a long time. So you haven't known what makes you happy for a while. Okay, love. Love is important to you. But true love, not this. Not this praise, not the attention from people you don't care about, that don't mean anything to you. But you've been waiting for love your whole life. That's what you care about, so that's what makes you happy. All right, so how do you fight for that happiness? It's certainly not by doing this. By seeking approval from people that you don't care about. All right. How does the viewer fight for their happiness? Okay, you need to develop your boundaries, personal boundaries, for sure. I think sometimes you let people walk all over you, or you walk all over them because you don't feel good about yourself. Yeah, I don't know how that helps. So how does the viewer maintain these boundaries to fight for fight for being their lovable true self. You have to walk away from something. You have to walk away from immature energies that are just kind of giving you ideas and nothing else, and are like maybe even kind of bratty and mean. So if you have like an immature energy, I'm not talking about like your kid. Don't walk away from your kid, obviously. I mean like hookups or, friends with benefits. Like, that's not fulfilling you anymore. In fact, it's making you really confused. And you're not used to being confused because you're not easily confused. All right. Okay, so if no hookups, if no attention from strangers, what are you going to do? What does my viewer replace it with? Generosity. Generosity. To give to the people who need it. And if somebody doesn't need it, they're not giving you anything, just watch where your energy is going, because you only have so much and you don't want to pour it down the drain to the wrong source. And I'm not saying that, so, you have been chasing people. So wait, where is that? Yeah, so you have been chasing people, and it's been like addictive for you. And that's not an equal give and take. So either you give back to the people and to your community as they need it, or you form a reciprocal partnership with a peer. Okay, so in the meantime, get back to, okay, so let's get some advice on, I guess, the non-romantic aspects of this, of how you're going to replace this attention-seeking behavior. So non-romantic. Yeah, so you need to stand up for yourself. Romantic. Okay, so what about romantic prospects? How should the viewer, what should the viewer do to ensure reciprocity in her love life, their love life? So I think you're prone to Delulu. Who isn't? I mean, who coming to a tarot reading hasn't experienced some Delulu, right? So again, I think I'm going to try to make an effort to say this in every reading. I'm agnostic about whether there is anything over and above our natural world. So I'm agnostic about whether there is any such thing as, a spirit with intention and supernatural ability or anything like that. I like to believe in that. I think it's certainly possible that, these well-intended, powerful, like supernatural spirit entities could speak through tarot. I think that's possible, but I don't think that we're entitled to believe that. And I think we need to be very careful. And I think our job when we're listening to tarot readings is to be very discerning and to think, oh, does this apply to me? Why or why not? And then, especially if somebody's making a prediction about the future or telling you the contents of somebody else's mind, then it's your job to know that you cannot take that prediction or that mind reading or whatever for granted as true. You cannot. You're not entitled to that, to believing that. Your job is to consider how you feel about that reading. So how do you feel about that future outcome? How do you feel about that potential thought in that other person's head? And then that's going to give you some information about what you want in the future, how you want people to feel about you. Okay. All right. So outside of the romantic context, you need to stand up for yourself in order to get fairness and reciprocity. And what goes around comes around. Let's get one more. And you're really, honestly, you're blessed. So outside of romance, and maybe you are in romance too, but outside of romance, please don't be afraid to stand up for yourself, because the sun is shining on that option. I don't think that anything bad actually comes from you standing up for yourself. Your desires, unless it's to, chase somebody and make them praise you, which is selfish and bad, and you need to stop that. But your real, true desires, who you really are, they're very good. So the more light that shines on your who you really are, standing up for yourself, the better. It's only going to go well. All right. So, what about romance? Let's hear about how the viewer can get reciprocity in the romantic realm. So, discerning for sure. Something about strategy. I'm hesitant to tell you to be strategic in love, but maybe you should be in a way. All right. So maybe putting these together, you have a tendency to you're prone to delulu, right? And I think an antidote to delulu is to have a strategy. Okay, so what's the strategy that the viewer can use to sort of stay grounded in reality and avoid getting caught up in, delusional daydreams? Fill your own cup. Okay, so how? How does the viewer fill their own cup? I think you're actually a very logical person. So I think, problem solving. All right, I need a clearer way. So we want to know how the viewer can cultivate more reciprocity in their love life. Don't be afraid to go after what you want, but listen to I think you need to get in touch with who you are. You need to really go inward. I know that you have dealt, you've dealt with, where is it? I know you've dealt with a lot of loneliness over here. I get that. But I think if you make an effort to really get in touch with who you are, when you go after what you want from that place, you'll be good. If you're going if you're pursuing something because you're running from loneliness, that's when things go awry, So advice to you is to really learn who you are and then go after what you want once you know who you are. I think that's it. I want to leave you with one last little summary here. Okay, hope and healing. That's great news. So you have no reason not to be hopeful. You have been stuck in this cycle of chasing praise and you've been addicted to it. And I can understand that feeling of hopelessness. You have felt hopeless here with the 5 of Cups, but you have so much to who you really are that you have no reason not to believe in yourself and not to have hope. But you do need to, heal your heart a little bit from all of this nonsense. Because you know what's going to make you happy. Look, there's a little happy family, and it's not even about money for you because you got the 10 of Cups. You didn't get the 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles is great. I'm not trying to shade it, but that's not even what you care about. So, just be honest with yourself. Trust yourself, because you are going to be just fine. All right. Have a lovely day.